This is all about the Earll's family. So we've been researching.
Can you introduce yourself first?
Hello, everyone. I am Lesa Walker. My grandparents are Gertrude Green Earll and Thomas Russell Green, and so I am a descendant of Solomon and Sarah Earll. They are my great-great-grandparents, and these are their children. And this book is based off of the picture that they took when my great-grandfather Solomon passed away. And he has right here. You see my great-grandmother and all of their children and their spouses. And as you go through the book, it starts off with myself a story, just letting you know a little bit about who I am and why I chose to write this book. And I was kind of the black sheep of the family, so I didn't really bond with family as well as I should have when I was younger. So I ended up going,
young folks.
Yeah, and I ended up taking a class at Wayne State University. It was on ancestry, and when I got in there, I started realizing how important family was. It just something like filled a hole in my heart, and I just jumped into this rabbit hole, and I haven't gotten out. I just keep going and going. So my first book is on the Earlls, and it goes all the way back to our great-great-great-grandfather, and I'm going to say great-great-grandfather because we are kind of trying to determine if this is our great-great-grandfather or our great-great-great-grandfather. But he was born in 1792. He died at 107, and he escaped from slavery, which it says right at the bottom of here, and made his way to Canada. So he's the root of this book, and it goes all the way. So it tells about a little about his family. It tells about my great-grandparents.
And did the Earls come from Kentucky?
Maryland.
Maryland. Okay.
Yes.
Do you know where in Maryland?
No, not.
I do. That's where I started this journey.
That's what I thought. Yes, that's awesome.
I started in Cambridge, Maryland, and
it doesn't. You know what? I don't know that it really says because the Elias Earll we don't know his history.
Because I know a lot of folks down there. That's why I'm asking specific questions. Who can point out perhaps where.
Yes.
Down there. So
and that's where
I'm
going to continue to dig for that and try to find out exactly. So, but right now, so what I did is each one of his families, this is my great-grandmother's side of the family, but then I went into each one of the children, and I just did a little biography on each family. And as you see, it goes, these are my grandparents. And it gives a pedigree of. I try to bring it up to the newest child. Like I have a new grandbaby. He's only 4 months old, and he's in here. So as much as information that I can find. And the Blackburns just had a tribute. July 25th. I got that in the new one. So that's the latest version 1.3. And so it just has every one of the children, and then just some stories at the end. So you see Shanita, and then just a tribute to our soldiers, and then just family stories. Anything about what their family has done. Aunt B, because Aunt B is like, she's the impetus. Oh my gosh, she is the root. I collected so much information from her research, and she is a true historian. So I owe a lot to that. And then one of the nice things is I captured the story about my great-great-grandfather when he was at the quarry and it blew up and how he was killed.
I remember hearing about the story of him.
So, yes, and then this is my great-great-grandmother and my great-grandmother. And there's a story about their tragedy because both of them lost their husband at such a young age. And raising children. I look at this in this time, a white woman married to a black man and then having to raise, I think, 12 biracial children in that time, and how strong she had to be. Because, we know how it is. And so it's just to talk about, their strengths and even, what they offer to us about Negro Creek, what's going on now, and then just a few stories about the other families. So, and now it's a 5-part documentary. So I will be now starting on my grandfather's side.
Okay.
And I'm in the midst of that. So 15 years of labor of love. And
wonderful job.
Thank you for your walk, that journey. And
I remember reading a quote by the ancestor of Dred Scott, and she said, "When you go looking for your ancestors, you'll find they're looking for you."
That's a good quote to have. Now that's where I took my angels. I have great respect for the past. If you don't know where you come from, you don't know where you're going. And that's a true quote, because I'm just finding for myself, it's just opened up so many doors for me that I'm just loving to hear stories about my family, to find out what happened, how did they get here, and to see their journey and how some were so successful and others, they still struggle today.
There's a lot of sacrifice they made coming up from Maryland. Trust me, there was a lot of sacrifice made.
That we don't even.
And most likely they would have come through Philadelphia too.
Yes.
William Still or Thomas Garrett would have been part of the people who had directed them forward to Owen Sound or St. Catherine's.
Yes, and now I know even through New York, I seen a document on one of my ancestors. It was called a